All right, guys, welcome to the Haven. We are here for Muu Inu V2. We have my man Obito representing the team. Just really quick before we begin, please remember nothing on this recording is financial advice, and AMAs are a chance for us to ask questions. They're not endorsements. Although I am partnered with this coin, so it's kind of an endorsement. Obito, my man, tell us about what you got going on.
Okay, so today we're here is Muu Inu V2, or just known as Muu, and why we moved to V2. So in V1, I know a lot of people have checked the contract. A lot of people know about the contract who, like to dig deep. They probably saw a lot of weird things are written in the CA. The contract's got a fake renounce, and you can't whitelist wallets properly, which essentially means we had an issue with our first staking pool where some people were stuck in there. That's because people are getting taxed on withdrawing it like normally. So essentially some people couldn't withdraw because obviously majority of the tokens went in there for them to take out. And yeah, it also means you can't get listed on exchanges because of bigger exchanges, because of course some of them say it's mandatory to have obviously zero tax on the exchange. And of course, it's something we always had to address. So I thought let's address it now. So what's different with V2? Well, actually, there's some benefits straight off the bat. We have a stronger LP ratio. I don't know if anyone's checked, but our LP is probably near or around 100K. Around maybe I think it's ascended past that now. I'm around the 700K MC, and it's building as we go. The way we receive marketing funds and everything has also changed a bit, but all the tax and all the tokenomics stay the same. Anyways, and then shall I begin with what we're doing off the bat for V2 and what's happened?
Well, remind us about the tokenomics and everything first, just so we get a refresher course in that.
Okay. So how do we start? I could tell, I think there might be a decent amount of new people here, so I will explain that. So how do we start? So May 2nd, we launched Muu Inu. I wanted to launch a project where, so I keep saying it like this. So as in, when everyone thinks of animals, everyone keeps saying the next Doge, the next Shiba. I've never seen someone say the next Bitcoin and the next Ethereum. It's always the next Doge and Shiba. And it's always, when everyone thinks of a sort of, a coin that printed a lot, made people millions, they always think of, dogs, animals, or even when they think of cats and they think of tokens like Cake Coin, all these big tokens. But no one thought to do the farm side, and that's a massive thing, farm animals, very, very big thing. But I saw that sort of that area wasn't covered that much, was covered quite vaguely. So I wanted to sort of dominate that area. When people think of sort of farm animals, of course, the cow being one of the most dominant, they think of Muu. So that's how we launched Muu Inu. Of course, you had to make it sound a bit retarded. So we did change. I made it so it made sense, but also, had a bit of an element to it, of a bit of a meme. And that's how I came with Muu with 2 U's. So that's how we launched. And yeah, it's very, very excited for what we've got planned. I've been in the space since last year, I think less than a year now, just around 11 months. I think back then I started helping with marketing projects, and I got to learn. I think I launched my own independent project in January, which was similar to how Muu's phase was with V1, day 1 to 2 going from about 100 to 10K, and then from 10K to like 700K. I remember Archiles was on that one with me as well, and yeah, that was very good. And of course now we have Muu established, and yeah, a pure long term. So I'll get into details now about Muu. What have we done? What's coming? What's the utilities are in the project? And where do we expect Muu to be? So first thing first, what type of project is Muu? I've always said this, and I'll keep repeating this. Muu is a sole long-term project. All my focus is on Muu every day. All it is on Muu. Of course, a lot of people know me around the space, also running a channel and things like that. Anything from there also goes into my Muu project, as you guys have probably seen, and I think I've been so far focused on that. I haven't touched that in about 2 weeks, but yeah. So, anyways, I want to elaborate that Muu's a long term. So now you guys have heard me say that. You can ask, why is it a long term? This is why Muu is a long term. So first thing, our utilities. What do we have? So Muu Chain is one of the main utilities I talk about, but I'll name all of them now. So we have the Muu wallet, which is going to drop next week. What is the Muu wallet? Well, the Muu wallet is a multi-chain wallet. We have fees. It's the first ever wallet to have fees where if anyone uses the built-in swap on our wallet to buy tokens, they're generating reflections for all Muu holders. So if a mass amount of people use the wallet, you're generating constant reflection. Or if you just try to use it, you're indirectly giving yourself money back just for using the wallet, buying things you didn't even know could pay you back for. Kind of like a sort of use to earn type of feature. What else does the Muu wallet have? So that's one thing of how it directly impacts the market cap. This is all our utilities directly impact the market cap in a certain way. What other ways?
But before you get into like the future plans and everything, tell us about the existing utilities and how you develop them.
So what's out at the moment?
Tell us about the existing utilities that are out and like how you guys develop them and what they do for the project.
Okay, so what are these utilities, what they do for the project? So at the moment, like I said, we do have the wallet this week, but I'll get into that because that's obviously going to be very soon. But as for what we have at the moment, we have a built-in swap. We have 3 different swaps. What are these 3 swaps and how do they impact the market cap directly? Well, first thing first, we have a multi-chain swap powered by XY Finance. They recently updated it to V2, but of course, they will start enabling it so all the liquidity pairs are there very, very soon. So first thing, that's that. What does this mean? It means that basically any network, any currency, you can just buy straight to Muu Inu V2. If you're buying from Ethereum chain, if you're buying from Qcoin chain, if you're buying from Kronos chain, you can swap straight to Muu Inu BSC. I tested that out myself, of course, on V1, and when I'll test that again on V2. But I've also sent the link into the chat, and people can try that out if they want to when their pairs are live again for V2. So that obviously brings in a whole new market of people. Of course, not everyone holds on BSC. Some people who do want Muu, or for example, one of the key points, for example, when the Kronos chain hype was around, and there was a lot of Kronos tokens, I know one of the key reasons people said they missed out was because they were too lazy or not bothered, or they thought it was too long or hard to migrate. So, of course, having a built-in swap just puts that ease of access there for more investors to come in and hop on straight to Muu a lot easier. They just click of one swap, just like you'd use on PancakeSwap or Uniswap or whatever DEXs are on the other chains. So that's one swap, a multi-chain swap, and that's powered by XR Finance. Now, we have another swap. We have our informative swap. Now, informative swap, what is that? So first thing first, the reason I call it informative swaps because it's a swap with all the details you basically need on the project if you're new. It basically tells you, once you connect your wallet to it, if you put /swap in our chat now, that one's already updated. What does it tell you? So once you connect your wallet to it, you can, when you try to buy Muu, it has auto slippage already set there. So you can just auto slippage to buy Muu. You don't have to worry about setting it too high if you guys worry about slippage too much. At the bottom, it tells you things like the biggest buy in the last 24 hours. It tells you the buy and sell tax, the taxonomics, and it tells you the chart action, of course, which is very, very good. So those are all the basic, info that you need when buying Muu or want to know about Muu. It's all on one swap, which is really, really good for new investors, who might not know how to do slippage, might want to see the taxes quickly, the biggest buys, the chart action. They can all see that there. So that's why I name it the informative swap, because it's just key information. Now, we have another swap called the Muu swap. What is the Muu swap? A lot of you guys heard of things like SafeMoon swap, Everrise swap, things like that. See, with the Muu swap, but this is also directly impacts the market cap. How does it impact the market cap? What does it do? So, like I mentioned, the informative swap is ease of access for investors. Same with the XR Finance swap, it's also ease of access, but also branches us out to a whole new market. What the Muu swap does is, there's 2 things it does. So first thing first, we list tokens on there, just like SafeMoon you probably see, and we charge a fee. We've done a few listings, and the fee we charge, we buy back and burn a supply of Muu Inu with. I've done a few, and I've always put the listing in the chat of Muu Inu, and I've put the TXN hash of the buyback and burn of the Muu supply. So that's already starting our sort of process of buying back and burning most of the Muu supply. So, of course, with that swap, we're currently getting a CA updated to V2 on there. Which I know we're going to list more. We're only just going to continue to list more tokens on there, but we have a little catch. We want it to directly impact the market cap, right? So the tokens we list are tokens that benefit Muu only. So what I mean by benefit Muu is it's tokens of Muu Inu rewards, or Muu named or Muu themed. See, what this means is if someone was to go onto this swap and buy, and they decided not to buy Muu Inu on this swap, right? And they started to buy, let's say, the token that partnered with them, or we listed them. Let's say it was a token like Baby Muu. If Baby Muu, like we said, passes the requirements and it had Muu Inu rewards, then no matter what, it would still impact the Muu Inu market cap, because that token they buy is contributing rewards to us. Not just that, but the exposure. having a lot of things listed on there that all say Muu, people wonder where's this coming from. That's how a lot of people find tokens. A lot of people find tokens through other tokens that are launched. If they see other tokens that are mooning, that may be baby or mini, it's just all good for the exposure of the overall ecosystem, which is also what we do. So that's what we really like. Of course, the exposure through word of mouth and everything like that is a very, very big way of marketing, and people don't realize that. Key forms of that is obviously Doge and Sheep when they went viral. That's all obviously key forms of sort of mouth to mouth and also on social media. So those are the swaps alone. We also have a lot of things like exchange listings. We're listed on Bitmart. We're listed on Lbank and some other exchanges. We're only going to go for bigger ones now. We can, and we have the rights to, which is very, very, very good. And of course, they are migrating to V2 as we talk. So all holders on there will get their V2 tokens. Okay, so what other utilities do we have that are in the making? So back when we hit with Muu Inu, I think Hercules was there. We were breaking, I think, a mil every day from the bottom of 18K. Back when we hit there, we didn't have many utilities out. Nothing crazy backing us. Now, what's different? Sort of, we have a weight. The LP would be about maybe 5 times stronger, 6 times stronger than it was at our last all-time high, which is very good, especially in this market, because as you probably saw yesterday, when the market was taking basal dump, we were up about 10-20%, purely because our LP was a massive aid to that. People selling maybe 1,000 or something barely affects the chart. Very, very lovely, very, very good in this market, like I say again. Anyways, what's different? So now I've talked about sort of the past utilities. We have the things like the swaps, and everything we've paid for to come in the future. We have what else do we have? So we have a few things. Like I said, I mentioned the wallet is launching next week, Muu Wallet. That's launching in the Google Play Store. How I'll benefit the token, of course, the first token to generate reflections just from buying and selling on there on the swap. Ease of access for new investors. I'm going to, when we get it on the Google Play Store, I'm going to go on Google Ads and I'm going to purchase, you can purchase keywords. So when someone searches up crypto wallet and trust wallet on the Google Play Store, R shows up as number 1 as the ad. Now, of course, that's very good because a lot of investors, when they watch YouTube videos, including me, and I know a lot of people resonate, when you watch YouTube videos on how to trade crypto or, get into the BSE space or whatever, buy meme coins or whatever you search up, the videos always mention 2 wallets. It's always Trust Wallet or MetaMask, neither. And maybe a third wallet sometimes. It's always Trust Wallet, MetaMask they mention. So getting the keywords of crypto wallet and Trust Wallet, even MetaMask as well, are very, very big things because, of course, these new investors or these new people getting into the space, they're going to see it at the top and see and install it. Because nowadays, and in general, the human eye is attracted to things like color, good looking apps. People like Trust Wallet's look. It's smooth, it's big, it's nice. MetaMask, people that, of course, the UI is very fast and smooth, but the design isn't as good as Trust Wallet. And that's why, of course, neither can dominate because MetaMask has its obviously ups and downs, and so does Trust. With us, we're implementing both of those things. But we also want a good sort of design because, of course, that obviously attracts more people. If it's a boring design, it'll be less likely to use the app. And if it's a nice, good looking thing that people enjoy, people actually like using, they will use it or be more inclined to. It's just all the human brain and how people think. So anyways, now you've established, what's it called, what I'll do, the marketing for that and sort of, how people will be more inclined to sort of check us out or, might check us out because of our design and everything. Now I talk about what actually happens on Ease the Wallet. So, of course, ease of access. What did I mean by that earlier? I mean, a lot of them might not know how to use a Web3 browser. So we have, you can buy Muu Inu straight from, obviously, like I said, the built-in swap on the app at the front. That's really good for a lot of people because, of course, it would sharpen their portfolio, which I just got paid for. So we're also building an extra portfolio in the wallet. Of course, it shows you all your tokens, how much holding each thing. So whenever you buy Muu Inu on the right side, they can just add the token. But since it's Muu Wallet, it will just show you how much you own of it and how much it's worth, which is very, very good for new investors, of course. You don't have to use Muu Wallet. The wallet will be multi-chain as well. So we'll have the multi-chain people coming in, including me. And like I said earlier, reflections that you generated from the wallet, so directly impact the market cap. We'll also be listing tokens on there.
Oh, wait, so I just want to talk about multi-chain. So right now, this is still on BEP20 exclusively, right?
Would you say right now what Muu Inu's on the BSE chain, right? Yeah, it is.
Do you have any plans to branch to the other chains?
Yeah, in the future. So I'll get onto that. But not at the moment. So the reason at the moment, so I'll get onto that in a second, but it's because we kind of are branching to another chain at the same time. It's going to be our own chain. MRC20, and that's the Muu chain. I don't want to give an ETA for that. It's not long at all. But the reason I don't want to give an ETA is because I don't like giving ETAs to things that change, things that do require a lot of work. I prefer, you probably understand where I'm coming from. People would just, normally, the normal person probably just prefer to wait. And, when everything's completely ready, because of course you don't need to rush when it's a different chain, then you can just drop it in the chat. So, like I said, yeah. So sort of our chain, how it will work is, I found a way. At the beginning, we used to have a chain. I don't know if you remember, but we had a chain, and I scrapped it last minute. So and the reason I scrapped it is because I couldn't find a way to make it benefit Muu Inu. There'd be two currencies. But what I didn't fully understand is the two currencies are fine, because of course people were collecting Muu Inu on a BSC side, bridging it over to the Muu chain side to buy and sell and trade. They're not selling it on the BSC side or anything. They're bridging it over to do their own thing on that. Just like with the recent change, you've probably seen the Albi chain, and yeah, Eka Elon and everything like that. But yeah, so MRC20. What is MRC20? MRC20 is, well, I mean, like ERC and everything like that. It's obviously the Muu chain. The Muu chain. What is the Muu chain going to be? Of course, we're going to be the first. So a lot of these chains that launched, none of them really tokens to start off as sort of a meme. This was always supposed to be a long-term coin, but what I mean by meme is, of course, the Muu chain is quite unique. Like sort of like the Doge chain. It's quite smooth. Of course, you've had like ones of Chronos chain, but those are set, in stone tokens, everything like that, properly established. So, what is the Muu chain? Like I said, we're going to be like sort of the first we consider ourselves in between the meme and the altcoin. You have the utilities of an altcoin and the stability, building it up and everything. And we also, and the determinant, the community and the determination of the team. And you also have the meme coin side of the name, the look, and just how the community behaves is very, very good, I think, to attract more people in. Quite a friendly look. So we will be sort of the first hybrid, meme coin type to have a chain. What would the chain do? Of course, as you know, it would obviously mass boost the MC. People will be buying up Muu Inu, bridging it on a bridge we have built by our partners. We're partnered with Sphinx Labs, so they'll using their bridge. It'll bridge the Muu Inu to obviously the Muu on the Muu chain, and then they would buy and sell whatever on there. Obviously, very, 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 very good for raising our market cap. And then, of course, they would buy and sell Muu on there. We'd have a stable coin called MUSD, Muu USD, which is very, very good for a lot of people that like to keep the money stable coin. You can add LP in that if you like. I'll be having someone build a buy bot on that chain and everything. But actually, let me get into more of course, the scan. If anyone would go to a Twitter page, I've just sent a photo of the first look at the scan. It looks very smooth. A lot of people had some very, very positive comments for it. We also have the DEX on the swap. So what's the DEX? You have the Chronos chain, you have Finance, you have the most recent one, I think, Doge swap, and you have Pancake swap on our chain, BSC, and then of course Uniswap, you have ETH. For Muu chain, it'll be called Barn swap. The reason I thought of Barn swap is because direct correlation to what a barn actually is. A cow goes in there and a cow leaves. So, and all together, it's the resting place of a cow, where people add liquidity, where people buy, the cows come in or buy Muu and sell Muu. So they have direct correlation to the meaning of what a barn is, and of course, links perfectly to the token and the theme. So so the DEX now will be a barn swap. I'm talking to DEX Screener to see if we can get added on there as a chain when we do drop on there. And of course, I'm very, very happy to see what will happen when the Muu chain drops in. The launching, of course, people using the contract, and very, very good days to come for that. But yeah, so I'm not going to give an ETA for that, but that is in the short term. That will be coming in the short term. Another reason, of course, that directly impacts the Muu's MC. But yeah, so just like the wallet, it will directly impact us. Like I said on the wallet earlier, we'll be listing tokens on the wallet. Sort of, on Trust Wallet, you probably see people pay bloody thousands. Some people pay a lot of money to get like their token auto showing on Trust Wallet, or to get that logo showing on there. They pay thousands. Of course, we won't charge thousands. Not that we can't, we just won't. But we will charge a cheaper amount and list sort of tokens that pass our criteria. But we'll be obviously less strict because we want to encourage more tokens with good teams to get listed on it. And we will use all these fees to buy back and burn the supply. So we do mass listings, maybe a couple, 2, 3 a day. We're burning about $1,000 of the supply. My aim is to get most of the supply burnt which we're already doing as we talk. Like I said, through the swap, through the well, not through the chain. The chain directly obviously links to the market cap, through the wallet as well, which is very, very good. And yeah, just in general burns, which of course, like I said earlier, is very, very good. So let me talk about more things as well. So we have the game and the NFTs coming as well. I don't know, Arcades, if you've seen the NFTs, or most people have seen the NFTs, but they're called the Milk Cult. So how my design with the NFTs, and these are going to drop the second week of September, by the way, so they're not far, about 2 weeks away. And why Milk Cult? What is it? So when people come to NFTs, there's two reasons they buy NFTs, or three. The first reason is they buy NFTs, they think they can flip it for cash. They buy it because of what the project is, or they buy it for both of those reasons. So they buy it for the reason of the project is big, but they don't actually like how NFTs look. They're buying it because they know people will be able to. They know people would try to buy it off them, and if more people try to buy it off those people, and so on, to make more and more money. And that's how obviously the NFTs increase in price. But getting it at the beginning is always good if it's a big project. And there's the other people where they buy it because it's something they want as a profile picture. It's something they want to keep. For example, the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, all the celebrities, they don't buy it to try to resell. Maybe some, but most of them buy it to have as profile picture, to show they own one of these. Of course, with Twitter allowing things like NFT support, it also encourages more people to buy NFTs and do that. So that's obviously increasing as it starts. But yeah, so with us, that's what we did with the Milk Cult. I want it to be a project where people look at those NFTs and not just try to want them because it's Moo and they can flip it for quick money if they get it in early. It's more of they want to keep them. It's something they enjoy, something they like. So that's what I've done with Moo. So to go into sort of an explanation of this, Hate Beasts. If any of you search it up, this is what the Milk Cult project's sort of based on. HAPE space beasts, but they're the most hyped, or one of the most hyped NFT projects of the year. Majority of people kept all of them because of the way they look. They look amazing. That's what we based the Milk Cult. That's what I've based the Milk Cult on. I want them to look amazing like that, and of course, I want people to buy them. They'll of course because of the look and because of what they're based off. They will cost around. The price will be similar to the look, of course. But not when I say that. Nothing too crazy expensive. But of course, they will be priced to how they look. And we'll be using those fees to get listed on exchanges, and of course
wait. Just to make sure I understand, the NFTs are going to be on Binance, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What do you think they are going to be priced at approximately?
What did you ask me? What do you think they'll be? Will they be priced at?
Yeah, the price.
Oh, okay. So
approximate.
So I mean, I can't give like full disclosure on it, but of course, like I said, it won't be priced too much, but it'll be priced similar to its look. And if you guys want to look at the look, I'll send photos in the Moo chat now. I don't know, you can share them if you want, Arcles. Totally your choice. Of course, some of them are early looks. But yeah, so probably around maybe 0.3, 0.4. But yeah, when they're fully done, we can decide the exact price. But yeah, so I've sent two photos in the chat now. One at the top is the earlier look at one, and the bottom one's nearly finished. But yeah, so like I said, these will be used to further buy back and burn the supply. And thirdly, second, they would also be used to exchange listings. And of course for marketing, because we can generate quite a lot of marketing funds from using the NFTs, as a lot of people know, a lot of people do, which is very, very, very good for us, because it just helps us get things that much quicker. So of course, like I mentioned, the NFTs now, the chain, the wallet. What we'll be doing for the wallet after NFTs drop is to make it to increase, the ease of access and have the more likely for new investors to be picking up these NFTs. We'll be adding NFT support into the Moo wallet. Well, of course, it will focus on Moo. On the Milk Cult NFTs. So when people make the second update, they'll be able to, check the NFTs and obviously the NFT supported side. And of course, Milk Cult will be one of the verified ones there where, they can always pick them up if they do choose to, which is very, very good. And yeah, that's that. So what else is coming from Moo? So late 2022 to 2023, again, another mechanism of burning the supply, which is what I want to do, is a launch pad. So how will a launchpad work? Of course, how a launchpad works, most people, teams will come to us. Of course, with our established utilities by then we'll have a wallet out, the chain should be running, and we'll be updating it. Of course, the NFTs and most of those will be out sort of 2020, late 2022 or 2023 when the launch pad is out. We'll be listing tokens on there. the fees we use or the fees we get from listing tokens, we'll use the buyback and burn the supply of Muu. So we'll buy back and burn the supply of Muu from that, which is of course a very, very good method. And also we'll ask for maybe a percentage of people's tokens, maybe 1% of the token supply when they do use our pad. And of course, we'll use maybe some of the profits from those for marketing and of course to further buy back and burn the supply. Now, also let me talk about staking. So I mentioned in V1 we couldn't do staking effectively, and of course, what I do always tell people, and people probably heard me, and I'll say it again: everything I do, I learn from other projects. So actually, from my project, from some of the other projects I've been in as of recent, I've seen some of them are like a 1% anomaly in like the Ethereum or BSC chain. And of course, you know, the chances are, for example, I'll mention one that I based my staking pool off, which is called Dollar Spiral. A lot of people who've seen that. Why I say anomaly is it's not the fact of the market cap is at 100 million. It's the fact of the community is different. You know, for developers, even in the chat, you know, he hasn't said one word to people. You know, maybe Twitter posts every now and then. It's the community are running everything so effectively that, you know, it's dominating the space. As in that the 1% anomaly. There's no other chance, a 1% chance you'll see another group with a community like that running like that, you know, with a developer, or they're this smart, or, you know, they understand everything. So to be that 1% anomaly, you know, obviously we need to up our game a bit. So at the moment now, if you were to sell Muu, there's probably a 10% chance we would find another project with the same attributes. Attributes is in, there's what, probably a 10% chance you'll find another project with the same sort of utilities, determination, community, and of course, you know, the other 10% of us will probably be tokens like maybe Krog, Piggy, so on. But to be that 1% anomaly, you know, we need to go further. And so, for example, with a staking pool, how I'll start that is the staking pool rewards, of course, they're made by our partner Sphinx Labs, which will be out in maybe 1 to 2 days. They're telling me they'll give me an ETA when the developers started on it. So, of course, I'll be waiting for that. But the rewards will be as of even now. So, as of course, they'll increase because it's Muu rewards. So, if the price goes up, the thing will go up. But the rewards will be already starting in the 5 figures, you know, around 30 to 40K in rewards. I'll make the pool 3 months long, a 1 month lock. And the aim is to make the rewards juicy like that, to have majority of people staking. Now, if you have a majority of people staking in the pool, for example, like I said, Sparrow's got about 70%. It's a lot easier to have people, a lot easier to, you know, keep a pump running. Because, for example, you know, let's say if there's 70% people staking from Muu, that means that with already the big LP, there's only a worry of maybe 30% of people, or some of the 30% of those people selling. You know, so for that whole time period where they're locked, and even not after they're locked, because like I said, the pool will be 3 months, so the other 2 months of people still staking to get those rewards. As less would obviously go in the pool, there'll be more rewards out for everyone else. It just makes it a whole lot easier to fly. So of course that will start in a few days with, like I said, irresistible rewards. And yeah, that will sort of start us off with, and obviously the chain and wallet coming as well. Very, very good. With the wallet being next week on the Play Store, I've already explained how it'll go. So I know I talked on for quite a bit there, but those are sort of the utilities with Muu, why it's going to be a long term, and those are all based for this year. So of course, you know, that's only like 4 months left.
Yeah, we are definitely getting close to the end of it here. Okay, so I have to wait a few days before I can stake my tokens. That's what I understood there. And that
the team will have that out. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I will happily do so when we get there. I'm a happy Muu person here. So how big is your team that's doing this, dude? Like, you have a lot of programmers and a lot of people. Getting on the Play Store is not a super small thing. Who are you guys? Tell us about your team.
Okay, so I say this a lot. So sort of we have a external and internal team. People don't understand what I mean by that, and what that means is sort of internal team is the faces of the project. You know, they want to be known. You know, out there, you know, you have the dev and everything, and then you have the external team, which is the team that are literally there in the chat all the time. They're there, and they help me make, for example, the team that helped me make the wallet, you know, the team that helped me make the chain. Got the team that helping me make, you know, things like the website, you know, building. The team that help me build all the utilities, and of course are in the chat, you know, everything like that. So for example, external team, there's a big term. There's like about 10, 20. Actually, no, maybe not 20. But maybe around 10. There's a very big amount, you know. Of course, like I said, the utilities aren't easy to build. And of course, you know, also helping in the chat, of course, being part of the team. And we have the internal team, which is just a few, you know, just the faces, is, in like for example, in big big projects, there's about 2 or 3 as a face of the project. But the amount of people that help build, for example, like safety, there's a few of the face, but the amount of people that probably help build the safety wallet itself, they're all there, they're all in the chat, they're all there all the time, they're labeled as a team, but they don't want to be out there, you know. So overall, our team is actually pretty big, probably 10 plus, which is also very, very good because, of course, with these utilities, you do need a big team.
These utilities, I mean, you need a lot of people working on it. So exactly, I mean, you're the lead of the project. What are the other roles that people are playing here?
Oh, well, okay, so other roles people are playing in my project. So first thing first, what things other people are doing. So, of course, I very much like marketing. I run most of the marketing on my project. Of course, as the CEO and everything like that, and obviously the owner. We have other people running, like I said, the utilities. We have Creator Dev. He's amazing. He's in the chat. He runs things like all the technical stuff, the side utilities, and also we're running a side utility that we're currently making. Will be out in 2 weeks, and the reason I call it side utility is because I haven't told the group about it. What this is it's called Moonshots. Now, what is Moonshots? Of course, with 2 U's. It's sort of like I don't know if you've seen Dogebunk's meme tools before, or if you've ever of course you've seen CoinMarketCap. It's a listing site. We will charge 50 BUSD per listing on this site. We're building, of course, like I said, it'll be ready in 2 weeks, and we're sending images there now. And this is another utility that literally will benefit the token so early. And every single person that gets listed on this site or lists on our site, we check it's okay, we'll buy back and burn the supply with. So, so listing sites have the increase of people listing on a site is very, very big to, maybe a wallet or something. It takes 2 seconds. They go there, they enter their ticker in, some of the details in website, everything. They pay the 50 BUSD and they're on there in like 5 minutes. We do like 10 of those a day. So imagine the amount of money we're raking in for, buying back and burns and everything like that from there. So that's a side, for example, that's a side utility we're making right now with him. So that's obviously going to be very, very, very good. And yeah, like I said, that'll be out very, very close future, very, very near. So we're excited about that. 2 weeks. But yeah, so for example, Creator Dev, he'll help me with utilities and things like that, which is amazing. We have some other teams, another one called Emma, help him make the chain, help him make the wallet, and obviously her team. I'm sorry, not her, his team. We help him make those things there as well, which is very, very good. Of course, we also get this from CMC and CG and helping getting with the V2 on there. So, like I said, they handle a lot of that. And yeah, we also, of course, have mods. We have several mods. And they all, of course, moderate the chat, keep the chat clean, make sure the chat's not any shilling in there, keep people out, that try to do things like that. And yeah, so our team's pretty well established. And of course, on the sidelines, we have a lot of the team that basically they always have one sector to handle. A lot of the external team have that as well, which is very, very good.
My man, awesome. I mean, I'm looking at the chart right now. I'm looking at the preview of Muu Chain that you put on the Twitter. Actually, you know what, guys? If you want to see that, give me a second here. I will post the Muu Chain preview. Excuse me. Let me look at my notes, though. I'm actually just looking through all the media that you guys have developed. Man, you've come so far. Like Obito, the amount of work that you guys have going on here is there's a lot.
Okay, we're going to keep utilities in there because, in the end of the day, you can do marketing, and we've done. So this is another thing. A lot of people say when this or what marketing is here, and I'm trying to, and I don't think they understand that the marketing we've done and the marketing we're doing is insane. For example, we've dominated the YouTube space. I think we sent from with this LP, I think it was 400K to 1 million in a week. We did listings like Hotbit, as you probably know, as of recent, 400K to 2 mil. And that's exchange and that's YouTube done. We also did Twitter, as you probably know. Our Twitter is quite big. That shows something. We have a lot of big influencers on Twitter following us. The amount of promotions on there are very, very big. Telegram, I don't need to tell you about the amount of promotions on Telegram. I'm pretty sure almost every Telegram person or people in crypto know or have heard of Muu. And yeah, like I said, we'll do more of those. So we'll redo some of these marketing things. At the point, we've done so many that we can only redo them. But obviously, you have to read them effectively. So with Muu Inu, of course, when the wallet APK file was out, maybe like a day before it gets put on the Play Store, because Play Store have to approve it. I could send it to some YouTubers, get that paid and done. And instead of them just reviewing Muu Inu V2, what's the difference? Because they reviewed V1. Instead, they're reviewing the wallet itself. So when people watch the video, they're more inclined to buy because they see its backing utility. And of course, I can live drop things like the chain and stuff in, talks and things like that, which is also very, very good. So just this time, doing those again, further doing these marketing things since you've done all of them, but, doing them effectively.
Yeah, I see that. Anybody who wants to see, guys, look at the comment section on the most recent post. I just added the Muu chain photo from the Twitter. Where it doesn't have that. Okay, so what is your primary, global crypto hunter? I am going to mute you, buddy. Please keep your mics on mute, guys. Do you guys have international groups, or are you primarily English speaking?
Primary English speaking. We have, it's primary English. Some of them might have like maybe an accent, but it's primary is English. Yeah. Of course, I'm also English, as probably London. People ask me, so yeah. Like I said, so the whole thing is sort of primary English. We do have sort of group, we have a Chinese group. We'll open more, but I was looking at some of these bigger projects, and they tend to have it so it's all in one. I thought it was weird, but when I spoke to some of the team about it, they explained to me why, and that's why I tend to like keeping all the people in one sort of group or majority, because I think it is a good thing to do that. For example, I'll name some, like if you look at projects like Floki and sort of SafeMoon, you start to see that they seem to have one overall group with all the community in there. And if people ask questions in other languages, just welcome it. You just answer back in the other language. We have mods who can speak multilingual mods for that. I feel like that's much more better, and it's much more welcoming environment where people can just ask a question in other language, you just answer it back, and someone will ask in English and just answer it back. And they explain this to me, and that's why I prefer that for some people that might wonder.
So you guys have the ability to communicate to people in other languages. You just don't have the direct groups.
Yeah. We do have a Chinese one as well, which is also good for the Chinese one. We have done quite a bit of Chinese marketing. We had partnerships with some big Chinese groups, But I remember back when we was maybe at 70K, we did, I think, a joint Tesla one with them as well. It was crazy. Yeah. So we do have a lot of establishment. Of course, there's a lot of Chinese holders and things like that there. As of course, we've branched out to a lot of key groups for them and have direct partnerships with them more than once, and one that's running as we go. So yeah.
That is great. I'm looking at your chart. People do seem to like it very much so. Okay, let me look at the more questions I have here. Oh, what is the supply of Muu Cult going to be? How many NFTs will they be?
1,000. I want to do 1,000 beginning. The reason I want to do 1,000 is because I don't know. I see some people doing like 100,000 or 25,000, like maybe like 10,000. I feel like that's probably too much. If we do come to the point where you want to add more, we can always launch a second pack. That's not an issue. So it'll be 1,000 beginning.
Yeah, actually, I like that a lot. I don't like when they're like, "Oh, we're doing a run of 10,000 NFTs." I'm like, that was CryptoPunks. Like, no one cares anymore. It's too much, man, and it's just a money grab. They sell out 600.
Exactly, and in this stage, those NFTs are more people don't actually want to keep them. It's more they just want to make them a quick flip. Instead of what we're trying to go for NFTs is people want to keep them. People like the look, and that's what we're sort of going with the hate beast inspired look, which is of course the aim we're doing. And I don't know if you've seen them in the chat, but I sent them. A lot of people have very positive talk towards them as well, which is very, very cool. So very, very excited about it.
My man, I just retweeted you guys on Twitter there. So that anybody who follows my Twitter, you can see the information if you don't have Moos by looking at mine. Okay. Let's see my next question.
All good, man.
Okay, so this is a pretty basic answer, but for those of us that don't understand, so Muu Chain is going to be an ERC-24, correct?
Yeah. So all chains are. Not all. Well, BSC is the biggest fork. Not all, but BSC is, of course, the BSC chain is the biggest fork of it. As of now, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So yeah. Would you say sorry?
I've seen a lot of Rust ones coming out lately. People forking Solana and sort of like hanging out in that realm of crypto. And just good to know you're still staying on our side. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot safer just sticking with VRC, but yeah. So MRC is what we're going as the name for. I think it has a cool like hit to it, and yeah, and then of course there's no ETA. I don't want to give an ETA because I prefer if everything's just ready and done. Like let's say if it's already and done like a week ago. Let's say if it's ready and done now a week ago. I can just literally go over things like 100 times before I drop it, so I know 100% I have nothing to worry about when it comes down to the day, or it comes down to when I want to randomly drop it. Um, so yeah, so as I said, as at the moment, barn top is being made. A bridge is being made by our partners, Sphinx, from obviously Muu BSC to Muu Chain, which is of course you would buy on BSC side, bridge it there, and then of course you would buy and sell on there, pumping the BSC side, and of course it doesn't affect anything on the chain, because the chain you're just using it to buy and sell tokens like a normal coin, and you have a stable coin on there as well. So yeah, similar to Doge chain, but of course it'll be slightly faster because it'll be a built bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna forward that video you just sent me too. Those are really cool NFTs. Give me a second. All right, guys, you can look at that on the channel. All right, yeah, I'm getting a lot of DMs asking if people can ask questions. So, first person, Mr. Alpha, you may ask your question.
Hello, sir. Is my sound clear?
Your sound is perfect, my man. Welcome to the Haven.
I have a few questions. The first thing is our listing on CMC or NCG also at text? Already if we convert to V2, and the second, what is your plan, sir, to make at least our token to going to new ATH from the V1? And 3 second, do you have any donation group, or you will make it? If you will make donation group, I also can be an on or admin there. Thank you.
Okay, so donation group at the moment, I mean it's not needed. If we ever did, then we could always set that up. So, but at the moment, no, we don't have one. As for CMC, CMC updating us. I got an email back from them this morning. Everything, of course, they don't list on weekends and sort that out. So yeah, I'll just email them back after this, and yeah, we'll have that sorted. So CMC and CG V2 will be updated very, very soon. We'll be listed on there, so that's not an issue. That's really not an issue. Which is also very, very, very good. So yeah, I mean that's CMC. And then I didn't hear your third or the question you asked that was in the middle. What am I doing on V2? Is that what you asked?
I had a little bit of trouble understanding your questions too, Mr. Alpha. You mind repeating?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of plan to at least make our V2 is going to new ATH from the V1?
What type of plan is? I don't know if you got that, Achilles, or you could.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are you plan to make at least our V2 make new ATH at the highest from the V1?
Oh, okay. What am I planning? What am I doing to get us a new ATH? So of course, when we launched V1, the LP was a lot weaker. I think at all-time high it was maybe like 150k, and now we have about 100k at 700k. So shows you the difference there. So first thing first, we're more stable when we're going up this time. And second, we have a lot more utilities this time. When we went to V2, when we went high, I only just paid for the chain to be made. The wallet wasn't even in talks yet. The NFTs were nowhere to be seen. The staking wasn't even mentioned yet. The launch pad, never even thought of yet. So there's a lot of things we didn't have done. Now we have everything paid and everything, of course, coming. Like I said, this time we have the wallet coming out in like a few days. This week we have bloody the chain coming out. And this time better than ever. We have the launch pad now with NFTs in 2 weeks. So everything. What we have now is utilities that don't just say that we have utilities, they literally impact the market cap. Of course, the NFTs, marketing and buyback and burns. You have the wallet, which is we're listing tokens on there, buyback and burns, and you also have indirectly buying back the supplies getting bought back and being sent to people for reflections for just using the swap on there. You know, these are direct things that literally impact the market cap. Like not all you have to buy, they literally impact the market cap. And you have also, as a chain, of course, you need to buy Muu Inu on BSC, Bridget, of course, to use the chain. So people will be buying Muu Inu directly to use the chain from that. So yeah, so like I said, and of course the launchpad, people are giving us fees that we're buying and burning the supply with when they want to launch on our chain, on our pad. So those are direct things that we have that impact on the market cap rather than, you know, just flying with incoming utilities or bullish announcements. We actually have them in the flesh with a stronger LP this time.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry if my voice is bad.
No, thanks for being here, Alpha. Okay, who else has a question? I see a few people in the text section, but if someone has one in VC, I will let them go first.
Right.
Go ahead, man.
All right. Thank you. So I'm entirely new to Muu. I quite didn't jump in when the version 1 was live, and I kind of do not know much about the project and stuff. But the question, since I'm seeing version 2 of a previous one, where the tokens of your previous holders in version 1, where they migrated to the version 2, did you like automatically migrate the tokens from the version 1 to version 2? And what was the proportion? What was the ratio to which you did that? Was it 1-to-1 in value, or you reduced the value?
So first thing, it was so how the migration went was people sent me tokens and they need to follow. A lot of people didn't follow the steps. A lot of people DM me because they didn't follow the steps properly. You know, they didn't listen. So how it started was there was a week's notice. Of course, I announced a V2. Then 3 days later, I started the migration. I gave them a certain time frame and told them when they weren't allowed to buy from in a week's notice. And of course, some people didn't read the week's notice, so I even told them on the migration sheet, look, you can't buy from now on or whatever. So whoever followed the steps, followed the steps. So how it worked was people sent their tokens through to a wallet, that a fresh wallet that I just made. What I would do is I'd let those build up and I'd sell the supply. So that's of course why the Muu V1 chart is low, because I've been selling their tokens for the liquidity of V2. Then when it came down to everyone, the timer has ended for people to send me their tokens. We had the V2 LP around 75k. I then, of course, you know, I sent them their 1-to-1 airdrops of V2. So now they have their 1-to-1 airdrops, and I have 75, and I have the LP from V1. I just added that same amount of LP, a bit more actually, into V2, and that's why LP is a lot stronger, which is also very, very good, especially because the market at the moment isn't the best. But yeah, so that's what we've done.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, so yeah, I have another question. So the question is, would you be implementing any mass sale policy? I mean, there's a project I recently jumped on, and they had this mass sale policy, and you can only sell a certain percent of your holdings at a particular market cap. So is the version 2 of the Muu Inu incorporating that?
So when we first launched when we were making the V2 contract, my guy was telling me, one of my people from the team was telling me, why do you set a max transaction on that? And I told myself, well, there's no, you know, freedom of choice. It's a free market. I don't think that people want to sell their full bag. You know, there's this weird thing. I don't get it. Everyone tells you, this is what I don't like, you know, the space really annoys me sometimes. You know? Everyone tells you, oh, hopping in, you know, this could be the next token that makes you money, you know, people say, let's say, Muu Inu, people maybe at 10k would say buy $100, you know, and some of the team or people in the community will be like, oh, they're gonna have $1,000 soon. And let's say it gets to the point where they make $1,000, you know, they want to sell their money because they've made their profit for holding the token. Then the same people that say things like that will clown them, saying, oh, he sold early, or not you sold early, but oh, he sold, one idiot. You know, what I don't understand is, you know, people are buying new token. Every single one in this VC now has bought the token to eventually at one point sell some of their bag, or, you know, sell their bag. You know, it's normal. It's what it is. Crypto is buying and selling. At the end of the day, everyone who's made money has bought a token at a certain market cap and sold it at a certain market cap. That's how you make profit. So I don't believe in having transactions like that, or having a certain amount. People want to sell their whole bag, they can sell their whole bag. We have a strong enough LP to cover that. But, you know, let's say if we didn't, if people wanted to sell the whole bag, they could. You know, I have no restrictions against that. So yeah, you can sell only sell a certain amount. You can sell as much as you want if you hold your tokens. You can sell all of them if you choose to.
All right. Thank you for the answer. Thank you, Reckon.
Thanks, ABF. And Obito, to comment on your last statement, that makes me very happy because so many people think it's bullish to restrict selling, and it's just an artificial market cap because
so stupid. It's so stupid. The reason it's so stupid is because literally you come into the space. Everyone in this space came into this space to buy a token. Like the Shiba holders, right? They're I made this much of Shiba. They made it. They sold it. You know,
they sold it.
Said they've made. No. The people that said they've made. The moment they say made means they've sold that token. You know? The people that say they made this much from SafeMoon, or you know, when you go to these messages and you miss this token, if you had $10 in this token, they always say you could have had this much now. You know, these people have sold. You know, like they came into the space, they bought tokens like Shiba or whatever, and when they printed and made them their money, they then took it out. That's how crypto works. When you've made the money that you're content with, or when you've made the money, for example, let's say Shiba type money, you're content. You've taken it out because it's the money that you've made. You know, there shouldn't be any issues of people are complaining of you selling. Isn't that what you came into crypto? There's no cheats. It's just traders. You buy and you sell. I see the people see the term I use a G. Now I understand what they mean by that. Of course this guy sold with like $10 profit. You know, that's a bit dumb. But you know, like when there's people that, you know, might sell after being a holder since day one, which I've seen happen in my token, you know, over the last few weeks, you know, especially when we're at all-time high. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, the chart might go down. I mean, that's how it works. They did buy the token to sell the token, or in general. So I'd really see these people that say, I can only sell a certain amount. You know, sometimes I might understand them, you know, selling a certain amount. I mean, that's okay. Or those people that, you know, go into VCs and say, oh, if you sell, you know, I'm going to do all of this to you. Like, just what? Why did I buy the token then? Did I not buy it to sell?
Right.
I don't, you know, there's a free market in the end of the day, you know, if people want to sell, they can. People want to do what they want to do. At the end of the day, as long as the developer's still there doing everything, like at 18K, people dump my token. It is what it is. If people wanted to sell back then, you know, they could sell. You know, I was still there, still doing utilities, still messaging you, showing me that I built the swap, you know, getting this has been everything to get CMC and CG. And of course, you know, when we hit 3 mil, you know, it's their choice. You know, they're out of the token. But at the end of the day, yeah, really, it is a free market. It's completely their choice what they want to do. As long as the community and the dev is there, you know, that doesn't actually kill the token. It's what kills the token is the dev and the team and what they're doing. But like I said, as long as we're here and the community's here, you know, then sellers will never win.
100%. As you keep going, that's my man. That's the best answer to that question I've heard yet. All right, I'm going to allow one more question. We're getting pretty close here, guys. Who wants to go next? All right, we have some text questions I can jump onto here. Give me a second. Guys, no offense to anyone who joined the AMA late, but I feel a lot of the questions being asked are a little bit repeat, so I'm going to skip over those. David, I love your question, but I feel like the AMA covered that thoroughly. What's that, Louis?
So one thing I wanted to ask was, what is a contingency plan that you have in terms of the finances? Because a lot of people don't understand the difference between marketing and tactics, and they go and leave things up to an agency or just an influencer to market things for them, but they don't have a financial contingency plan to make it long term. Because I know certain projects, they keep their holdings in, you know, stable coins, and they laid out how they're going to allocate it and when they're going to do it. So could you explain some of that, but not to get too personal?
Oh, I see. I mean, I'll just go into not broad detail, but, you know, I'll go into a bit of information on this. So first thing first, marketing. I mean, this is kind of slightly off what you're on about, but essentially, as for everything, as for all the utilities that I run about, the chain, everything, they're already paid for. So there's no issue of, you know, we don't have enough to pay for the chain. We have to wait till next week's paycheck comes and everything like that. Everything's paid for, you know, so there's no worry about that. Of course, Like I said, everything's paid for, and I also have my own personal funds. Out of Muu already, I've spent about maybe 30 to 50K of my own funds on development, which is fine because if what you believe in is what you believe in, you'll do it. So that's what I've done. So anyways, we have my own funds as of course for marketing if anything ever goes south, which is that, and we have everything really prepaid for already. So there's no issue with we didn't pay for this and the market's gone down and we don't have enough. It's all paid for. Now I'll get on to your point of the other thing. So sort of when I do market, I'm not an idiot basically, as in I market strategically. How I have this set method which I do with a lot of people that when I launch with not when I launch, sorry, when a lot of teams launch, and I help them out. I have like this set plan of how you do it. Of course, it's all the human brain, how the human brain thinks. Everything in crypto, most of the time, maybe apart from channels and actual investors, it's all placebo effect. And what I mean by that, even channels, everything is how if they think you're big and you deliver, more people be more likely to buy something. Or it's because at the end of the day, everyone's the same. For example, I say this is a Binance listing, right? Let's say Muu Inu got listed on Binance right now, never told anyone. No one would buy. Maybe some insiders, but no one would buy. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Max hit a mill from inside info. But if I told the group or I marketed, if I told the group we got on Binance, it would pump very hard. And if I marketed that we got on Binance, it would fly very hard. Because in the end of the day, Binance itself doesn't actually do anything. It's what people's perception is. What I mean by perception is it's the amount of people that know. And the fact the amount of people that know means it's their perception of what a Binance listing is that pumps the token. So at the end of the day, most things in BSC are placebo. So what I do is I use that to our advantage. So I take certain things, I hype certain things, and using the marketing budget and everything like that, we get a higher ROI, which means to return on investment. So at the most time, we always get a very, very strong return on investment because people already pre-hype things like this. The marketing, the amount of people that know about this thing that might have not cost as much as people might think, they'll think it's big because the amount of how it's marketed for that. Certain things, the way people's brains work, and that will generate us a nice ROI. So that's what I tend to do a lot. Of course, the things I do it for are big things, but I make them even bigger by using this. Using people's perception of what it is and how big it can be in their brain. Pumping it more. People think something's massive. Let's say they're new to crypto and you see listing on, let's say, like a tier 3 exchange or like a bad exchange. Some people might throw in like 10, 20 BNB because it's their perception of what that it's an exchange listing. And some people might not, but getting the word out there on things that are already big and making it even bigger is amazing. So yeah, I do have a sort of method where we do that. As for marketing, it's all in BNB. The marketing builds up fast, and in general, I do have my own funds. Like I said, 30 to 50K I've used so far, and if I need to use more, I won't hesitate. You know what I mean? I've used it a lot. People probably seen it and checking transactions. So there's not an issue of sort of going low on marketing funds or having an issue of everything. And like I said, all the utilities are paid for. So there's not an issue of that either.
Got you, man. Appreciate you. Good.
DC, happy to have you. Great questions. All right, guys, we are just at the end here. Obito, give us some closing comments, and I will end the recording and move on to our giveaway.
Okay. Did Jay just pick some comments, or I you cut out for me for a second there?
No, just anything you want us to anything you want to close the recording.
I mean, again, I always say this in the recording. We're here to stay. I mean, if we weren't here to stay, then I would have given up at 18K. I would have just given up after the V1 issue of the fake renounce. We're here to stay. All the utilities I've mentioned, the reasons why Muu Inu will fly, but not just because we have the utilities, but more because of the fact of, because normally when you have these utilities, people buy the token because you have the utility. But instead, it's literally impacting the market cap. Like I've said, bloody people on the list of us, literally giving us money for us to put into Muu. People want to use the swap. You're indirectly making reflections. The chain, you literally buy a Muu to use the chain. All the utilities I'm on about, the launchpad and everything like that, all of them are literally directly impacting the MC. So that already should tell you guys a lot about the project and what we're going for with those. The wallet, I think we spent slightly more time on that. We were supposed to release it a bit earlier, but always release something when it's good, when when it's the best it can be. Because of course that generates more reviews and very good reviews, positive reviews, and that's all we want at the end of the day. But yeah, so in general, we're here to stay. Hope you guys enjoy or are part of the Muu Army. And if you are part of the Muu Inu, thanks for supporting and helping out with everything I do, and being in the chat and everything. And yeah, we have a 1BNB random buy comp going on. I think that ends in like just about 55 minutes from now. What that is basically any buy of a 0.1 BNB will basically be entered to win 1 BNB. So if you do want to invest a 0.1 or whatever, you know, you have a chance of winning a whole BNB, which you can have a reinvest if you choose to, or, you know, use for your own use. So I guess that's a little extra that I did at the end. But yeah, that's
Okay, guys.
Obito, I'm always happy to have you, man, and happy to be a partner. All right, my man. I'm going to end the recording here, and we're going to move on to our giveaway.